Well, hello, ladies and gents. Today's episode's a little different. I am actually filming a video version of the podcast this week, but I hope that everybody's week has been going fantastic. And today I kind of wanted to talk about social media. So this week, I don't know what's been going on with me, but I've had the urge to throw myself into every pool of social media. And the thing is, if you didn't know me when I was younger, I've always had this obsession with becoming some actress, or not even an actress, but when YouTube was a thing when I was a tween, I told myself, that is where I'm going, that's where I'm headed, that's the life I want to lead. I want to look pretty on camera. That's all I was meant to do. And then I somehow ended up in STEM, so that's what I've been doing. But, when I started this podcast, I was trying to expand and, grow my identity capital. I was just looking to try a new hobby and just enjoy the experience. I don't know, sorry, if my sentence did not make sense just now, what just went through my mind is I was staring at myself in my little, what is it? It's not a viewfinder. I'm recording this on my computer, so the quality is actually going to be shite, but I cannot afford a $500 camera, so this is what I'm going to use. So basically, I realized I've been looking at myself the entire time, and I was like, I should be looking up here at you. So I'll be making an effort with that now. And we are in America. Okay, so what I was saying is that this week I've had this huge urge to do those hobbies I had when I was younger. So I've been doing the podcast, but I'm not enough. I want to do YouTube, but then it's YouTube, I don't know, I enjoy the recording part, but I could not edit a YouTube video, at least not at this stage, in this stage of my life. And so I've been doing TikTok low key, and not really. I posted 2 TikToks, but I just did a story time and I tried to post it. And then the footage disappeared. It disappeared. I don't know where it went. It was 7 minutes long, which I also think was too long, but it was 7 minutes long, and I did my makeup for it, so that's why I look cute right now. So that I also look so good that I was the people need to know. The people need to see. And I'm kidding. That's going to be an ongoing trend. But what I'm trying to say is the footage disappeared. So I was okay, well, maybe I'll just try to do the podcast on video, because this was actually recommended to me by a coworker, and he was if you made videos for your podcast on YouTube, so many people would listen. But at the same time, I feel I listen to podcasts, I like podcasts that don't have video. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but usually my favorite podcasts, I like to listen to them and just listen to them and do something else while I'm doing it, because when I watch a show, I need to see every 5 seconds. If I missed one mannerism, I'm going back, I'm gonna see what I missed. If I missed a sentence, I want to know the entire nuance of the said sentence. But when I listen to a podcast, I don't know why the OCD need to see every tiny little detail dissipates, and I'm just enjoying listening to somebody talking in my ear, pitter patter, pitter patter, and I am folding laundry or cleaning the bathroom and stuff. So, but I do also enjoy the select few, and when I like that, it just takes it up a notch, and I'm just fantastic. That's gonna happen a lot also, because I'm kind of in my lipstick era, but I'm not a lipstick person. I don't know how to maintain lipstick and not get it on your teeth and everything, because right now I have red gloss on, and if you see red on my teeth, just I'll come too. But there's no need to say anything about it. That's okay. But yeah, so today I wanted to talk about social media, because I feel in today's day and age, it has been brought to my attention that I don't know if I'm a working girl. I don't know if that's who I really am, because I enjoy my little coffee shop job. Honestly, my kryptonite. I just talk with my best friends all the time and just chat, and it's just fantastic. It's such fun. And then I just have silly banter with the customers. It's all just a game. It's literally a game. But if we're talking little Sydney sat in an office or in a laboratory, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I actually wouldn't mind working on a lab, and I think I'll try. But, is that really what my heart desires? Is that really what I want? No. I want to be a socialite. That's all I want in life. And yes, like, women have come so far. We've come so far to be able to have the same jobs and hopefully soon the same pay for said jobs. But some of us just want to kick up our feet, enjoy the sunshine, go apple picking, and, occasionally lead the government, because I feel like that's where, I think women were meant to lead. I think that's just my philosophy. I don't think men can do it, and I think we've seen that. But I feel like we were meant to lead, we were meant to enjoy, we were meant to prosper, we were meant to be like carried from place to place. I don't really believe that we should be walking. I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating now, but you know what I mean. Like, I feel like I should give this a shot, and if I'm going to give it a shot, I'm going to give it a shot. So that's what's led me here right now today. But yeah, basically this week I've just been like, okay, like, you obviously really want to do this, so like, let's just indulge her. Let's indulge baby Sydney, and let's just go for it. And I feel like that's what I did with the podcast in retrospect. I was like, I need to do something that I enjoy. And I was like, at the time I was like, I don't like drawing, I don't like painting, I don't like writing poetry or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, what are hobbies? Because I feel like I think about that all the time. Like, what are hobbies really? Because I remember having like a crisis when somebody had asked me, like, what are your hobbies? And I was like, do I have any? Like, at this point, I feel like, does this count as a hobby? I feel like yes. But isn't hobbies also like, I mean, I do like to knit. That's a hobby, I guess. But yeah, I was just like, let me indulge this hobby I obviously want to deep dive into. And then it made me think about how all of us just really need to indulge our little us, because I've heard a lot of talk about how your ideal job in life should be a combination of your passion, something that can give you money to live, and also something that you feel is like contributing to your community, no matter the scale. That's what they say. I think that's what they say. And it's like, the Venn diagrams, it's like the circle, 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 and then job is like the one where they all intersect. And, I was thinking, if I can like talk on this thing, like whatever, and like this is basically like me trying to do that Venn diagram, right? And I have also heard people say that it's really beneficial to think about what little you used to like doing. And it's like, those things that are just beat out of you, but like knowingly. Because, you have kids that really like to maybe make puzzles, and then they kind of just grow out of it because, not that many kids are going around making puzzles at age like 12. And then you kind of just lose that, and then you forget about it for like years and years and years. And then one day you wake up and you're like, I kind of want to make a puzzle. I'm going to go buy a puzzle. And then you get a puzzle, you go home, you go in your room, you play some like TV, and then you like sit down and make a puzzle. And it's just like the best time ever. Does anybody else have these days? Because sometimes I'll come home and I'll be like, okay, this is what happened to me this week actually. I was like, I want to play a board game. I used to love playing board games. It used to be my kryptonite, and nobody wanted to play with me. And I was like, all I want to do is play a board game. And I used to play like Sequence with some people, and then I also used to play like Sorry and like all this stuff. But then I think my mom like literally shipped my board games to Cameroon, to our house there. So I don't think I have any board games at this moment. So then the other day I was sitting and I was like, I want to play a board game. And then I ordered Sequence on Amazon. It was as though somebody took over my body. I don't know what happened. I lost control and basically got Sequence. And then I was like, oh my goodness, you know what else would be so much fun? Jenga. So I hop back on Amazon. I'm like, tippy, 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 tippy. And I'm like, purchase, buy now. That buy now button is so dangerous. So dangerous. And I was like, yeah, okay, so now I've got 2 shipments coming in. They're both here now. Very exciting down there. And I think I might be able to coerce like maybe 2 other people to like join me on this excursion. And then maybe this can become like a regular thing. So cute, right? But like it made me think, why don't we do that more often? And that honestly is how I think I'm like remaking my way, repathing. What am I trying to say? Find my way back to my old like hobbies. Because also recently, sorry about the squeaking, by the way, it's my chair. But recently I've been obsessed with this show on HBO, and it's called For the Love of Kitchens, and it's my kryptonite. It's the most beautiful, fantastic, satisfying, aesthetically pleasing, beautiful, like work, interesting, captivating show on the planet. And like, yes, like there is so much good television out there, but that show, it really, really just like click, you know, it's the key to the happiness in my heart. And I realized, I was like, Sydney, as a child, you have always been obsessed with HGTV. Like, if my mom, like, ever allowed me to watch TV, HGTV was on. And then, like, sometimes it'd be Disney Channel and sometimes it'd be Nickelodeon. And, like, in retrospect, like, my friends love to joke that I'm, like, barely American because, you know, I, like, grew up in a French school and, like, a really Frenchy town and stuff. And I just kind of, like, missed some of the American, like, cultural foods and shows and all that. So then she's like, oh my god, you've never watched this and this. I was thinking about it. I think it's because I spent all of my time watching HGTV, because I had access to television as all did, and I used to watch shows like fucking like I think I actually stumbled upon Degrassi far too young. All I saw was just Drake and a thong, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, I have just like broken all the laws. I should not have been watching this. I'm so that was me as a kid. And you know, it makes sense because I feel like yeah, it definitely makes sense. But HGTV, I was like, wow, this is why I love watching all these flipper upper, fixer downer, I don't know what I just said. This like real estate shows, you know? Which is why, you know, my retirement plan has always been interior design, or not interior design, real estate. I don't know. Maybe a combination of both. A fixer-upper, if you will. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like society kind of beats it out of us. And I like talked about this in a different episode already, but I just think it's so infuriating. Like, I don't know. It just feels like we could be doing more for our souls, you know, rather than just for the money. Which I feel like a lot of people here forget about. Like, I'm not denying that we need money. We need money. You need money to buy things that make you happy. You know, I'm not here to say that money is not important. I mean, look at me. I don't know. I'm not giving small, I'm giving city, you know, I'm not a crunchy, grumpy, what is that expression? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The grungy, humpy, I don't know. A granola girl. I don't think I'm giving granola girl. Yeah. I don't know if I have much else to say. Give me a sec. I mean, I feel like nostalgia is just like a huge like indicator. Sometimes like the way that you look back on things can be like so nice and warm or like kind of negative, but I feel like sometimes we just need to reflect back and put ourselves back in our shoes of when we were younger and just be like, what was that, you know, really pushed my buttons? No, that's not the expression, is it? It's not the expression, babe. Push my buttons is an upset term, is it not? Just give me a sec to get there. That really granted my... No, gears? That's angry as well. That made me click. You know, that aha moment, as my innovations professor wanted us to think about. Also, can I just say, like, really quickly, I think I embarrassed myself in my class because my teacher was like, if you ever, like, this is a business class and they're like, let's think about some aha moments. Everybody was like, oh, you know, when you like take a practice test and then you like go over all the questions and then you go to the test and all the answers to all the questions on the practice test are the same as the test. And it's like, ah, it makes you feel excited, whatever. And then my innovations professor goes to our group. And the thing is, like, in my group, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I feel not forced, but the pressure to be the one to talk sometimes. Then I was like, okay, like I can just say my answer or whatever. And the thing is, like, the way that I looked at this was completely like, I'm like showing that this is not my major. I was like, well, you know, an aha moment for me is when, you know, you realize that if you feel like people are going to judge you, then you're only really judging yourself through others' eyes. And like, fantastic answer. Like, I still stand by that because to me that was like mind blowing. Like, think about that for a sec as well. If you feel like you're gonna get judged, you're actually judging yourself through other people's eyes. And you know, I wouldn't be here otherwise if I were like judging myself right now. But to me, I'm just like, okay, like, you little cutie pie, just like keep doing you and pursue this little hobby that you have. But you know what I mean? I was like, oh yeah, so judgment is only whatever through others' eyes. And everybody in the class was like, And then my professor goes, and how does that make you feel? And I was like, oh, just like nothing matters. And everybody in the class was silent. They're like, oh. And I was like, oh, not in a like bad way or anything, but just like nothing matters. I was like, listen to my existentialism episode actually if you want to think about that for a sec. I didn't mean it in a bad way, you know? Just like nothing matters, like, to be honest. Opinions, judgment, all of it, nothing matters. And yeah, I thought that might have been embarrassing just because not that it needed to land, but it wasn't taken in the way that I wanted it to be. But I feel like it's fine. What was I just talking about? Oh, was I talking about hobbies? Give me a sec. Honestly, I think that's all I've got for you today. The brain is quite empty. I think I'm due for bed. To be honest, it's only 10:19 p.m, but I've grown to be an old woman nowadays. I also have not eaten dinner yet, and that's a little bit stressing me out considering I have an 8 a.m. and I have to wake up at 6:30 tomorrow morning, but I also won't have time to record. And guys, I am set on becoming consistent, so here I am on Thursday night. Who would have known? I feel like I'm completely fooling you guys with these pre-recorded episodes. I'm just kidding when I say that as well, because I feel like most people, like most sane people, pre-record it, and I feel like some people even go as far to edit it, but that's not me. All I can do is try to time my cutoffs, and then I just add in a little mixy mix in the middle, and I call it a day. Because at least it's like still fun to me. Like, I don't know, if I like get too deep into it and try to like record and like edit, like that just sounds like a lot. I do want to get a better mic though, but like now you guys can see how tiny my little mic is. I just realized. Like, isn't she so cute? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, but I hope everybody has a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this video version of the podcast. I think I will be uploading this to YouTube, honestly. Maybe I'll try. I really will try. And, you know, if this bothers you in any way, then there's no need to say anything. Just click right off. Click right off. Okay, bye guys. Have a good night. Happy weekend. Happy Friday.